Hey there, and welcome to another episode of Idle Weekly. Today's game is called Clicker Heroes 2, and at the time of recording, I am in the version 11 experimental version in the revision 405, which just released. And what this did is make the star systems past the first one. As you can see here, I'm in the third one currently. Significantly harder. And how much harder? Well, this is my previous world with the 65% item cost, 219,000. This is with a little bit higher item costs and significantly more monster health. So usually when your item cost goes up, your monster health goes down, meaning that this monster health is supposed to be lower than this one, but this is the post-patch world generation, and this is the pre-patch world generation. It didn't touch the previous worlds. And I'm also past my Ascension date. I should have ascended already in world 68 because that was already slowing down, meaning that this is extra difficult right now for me, because I have never ascended. In version 11 the game works very differently from the previous version, in the sense that there are no more guilds. That's why there are these here. Every time you beat the star system, you gain a starfire that you can use to ascend. And you gain world crumbs for beating each world, which can be turned in, or which become a damage multiplier. That's what I have been waiting for. I was really late on this because the game was so easy that it just kept going and going and going, and I wanted to get to a point where it slows down, so that I'm at a point where I could ascend. And that's what I was waiting for before recording. So you keep everything in the tree that you have gotten, but they reset so you can take them again. So this 5% crit damage here, for example, yeah, it is significantly lower, and it's also additive, not multiplicative. It doesn't stack. It goes up additively, and the reason is because I can take this again once I ascend. And I have 65 points here. The reason is because you keep these points when you ascend, so you should keep at least a few points available for being able to start a build already. And I think that's what I'm gonna do right now. Let's ascend. Ascending will consume a starfire and all of your world crumbs to give you a damage bonus based on the number of world crumbs consumed. Your skill tree will be reset and you will lose the functionality of all flammable nodes. Flammable nodes are blue nodes. This here, for example, small clicks. Flammable will be lost on Ascension. I'm gonna earn 7,169 world crumbs. Quite a lot for the first Ascension. Let's see how Ascension works. I'm in Star System 3, World 10. Where will I go? You have ascended. Your base damage has been multiplied by 71,695%. And your skill tree has been reset, but your Automator upgrades and the value of previously purchased stat and trait nodes remain. Alright. So let's start the build again. I definitely need Hackathon's Echo. That's a must. And my crit chance is really low at the moment. So Charator's enchantment doesn't really do anything. But the synchrony is nice. So let's work my way towards synchrony again. get some more crit chance on the way. I think I went through here, so I get release again. Damage increased if I'm low on energy. Nice. That's good. And I took it again, and now my crit damage is at 399%, which is nice. And my ancient shards were kept. Ancient shards are actually different in this one. They don't double your attack or your damage anymore. They multiply it by 1.1. So basically they are a 10% increase. Hey, Automator point. And the power rune is weaker, plus 10%. Here. Ethereal items are also different, as you can see. The value of they give you just basic stats, and the stat value goes up by 1% for each star system, so these plus 3% items are from the 3rd star system. So I have only one Starfire left. But therefore I have a massive damage boost. Does it show the damage boost anywhere? No, not that I can see. Hidden cost reduction. Yeah, not that I can see. I wish it was visible somewhere. If it is and I just didn't see it, then it's fine. But anyway. So I have 175% haste already. So I guess going for limitless haste would be nice. But not required just yet. 185%. Might as well take it. I'm getting a fairly nice build going already, straight away, so that's nice. That is a lot of Automator points straight away. Wow. Alright, one thing I need is this previous gem. This is my current Automator, but I really need to make it more efficient by using these previous and next sets. I will deal with that later. Now, when in the last video I talked about how I'm a little bit worried about about the new direction that the game is going towards, and that even the developers might be worried that they will try to do their best, of course, as always. But one thing that this update did change for me personally is the feeling of progression. The feeling of progression, I don't know. I do like that I'm not just one-shotting. I'm saying this as I am one-shotting, but that's because I just ascended, so I'm extremely powerful with a massive boost. But other than that, I am glad that most of the time I'm not one-shotting content. So despite their game being more geared towards grinding now, in the sense that that it's all about linear progression now, and your damage bonuses and whatnot. the game still feels like it's not too hard, not too easy, at least the early star systems. The devs said that the later star systems are supposed to be hard, so it is possible that my play will slow down immensely later on, I don't know. But I'm sure I will see it sooner rather than later. But the difficulty isn't the issue here. Difficulty is fine, whether it is hard or not, the feeling of progression isn't connected to difficulty. The game could be rock hard right now. Well, it was before I ascended. As you saw, I was barely able to kill monsters. But that doesn't matter, the issue I have is with the skill tree now. The skill tree... I think I will go another route this way, through the mana stuff. But one of the biggest things that I liked about the previous version was that every time I used a skill point on a node in the skill tree, I saw the impact of that node instantly. It made me really powerful because everything stacked. Everything was multiplicative. So each node was a massive boost to your existing stats. And therefore it felt like every time you used a skill point you became more powerful. But now that everything is additive, I no longer feel that way. The skill tree is just a regular upgrade tree. And with individual nodes I no longer notice much of a difference. In my progression. Even 10, I think it requires like 20 nodes or something like that for me to actually feel like I got stronger. But at the same time that might also not be from the skill tree, I don't know. In a moment you will see another mechanic, and supposedly this mechanic changed a little in this revision, so I'll see in a moment. There's a mechanic that decreases if you beat the bosses in a single attempt, then the amount of monsters per zone goes down. Right, it starts with 1 still. Supposedly it was made more powerful, so I wonder if that means that it increases more exponentially instead of linearly. I'm not sure. But the current early star system difficulty seems fine to me. I got a massive damage boost and I'm still not insta-killing most of the time. The thing I need to do with my Automator is I need to put these away. Let's see. So this can stay. This can stay. Let's just upgrade it because otherwise I'm gonna fail the zone. And now go back here. Huge click 0, then use huge click. What was this? Big click 0. And that could be on 40 seconds. So yeah, the only difference is that it simply doesn't... Oh, it also doesn't use Quickstorm again. That's fine. You can just use Quickstorm again when it goes to this tab. So that isn't as important. I think this is alright. It switched to the second tab as it should. Perfect. Seems to work fine so far. Nice. That'll be my current 2-tab Automator. That will use mana a little bit more efficiently. Hopefully. Quickstorm still, because Quickstorm doesn't ramp up anymore, it still lasts a very long time. So I'm still gonna go through a lot of energize. But that is fine. But yeah, the feeling of progression has weakened for sure. But that is just my personal feeling. It might not be true for everyone. In the previous update I really liked that you had to adapt your build based on the material items, and if you didn't adapt it properly then you slowed down as a result. But as I mentioned before, I really liked that the skill tree had an actual real impact on my play with every single node I used. It made it feel really powerful. But I understand why it can't be that powerful anymore. I'm tempted to get Click Torrent, because it is my favorite ability in the game. But it still isn't that good. I mean 10 energy per second. This is 5. So it is extremely mana efficient or energy efficient. Or no, this is 2.5. So Click Torrent is 4 times as bad. And with the haste being as weak as it is, then maybe I can give it a spin. Do I have a Click Torrent thingy yet? I do. And do I have Click Torrent related these things? I do. So yeah, I can try out Click Torrent if I want. That's nice. So I'm gonna go this way towards expandable small clicks and then make my way this way. I don't know if I should take this one. I know it makes me able to use Click Torrent a lot more often, but at the same time my mana. So this is the current version of the game. It is quite different. It is the same, but at the same time quite different from the previous version. And while I still have fun playing it, the feeling of progression has definitely weakened. Because the feeling of progression is not in difficulty or numbers. Well, I guess it is kinda in difficulty. Because of the impact the skill tree had. You had a hard time, you used the point in the skill tree and suddenly you had an easy time again. So in some ways that could be compared to difficulty changing. But I think it's more than that. It's always difficult to explain this feeling. But usually, for example, in some games, when it takes you a while to unlock something new, and then you finally unlock it, that is the feeling of progression at work. For example, in Rigorous 1, it's not comparable to the second one because this is more of an action RPG. But just for the sake of argument, in Rigorous 1, the feeling of progression came from unlocking the next hero. The heroes were spaced out in such a way that they felt like you got powerful enough to deserve that new hero. It was the same way. The skill tree is basically the heroes, kinda. I don't know, it isn't comparable at all, really. So I'm not sure what I'm talking about. Because the skill tree is the heart of this game. In many ways. Ethereal items were also really powerful. If you chose the ones that were good against the world trait that you were against, then those felt really nice to use. I'm sure that they will make this patch feel really nice as well. I mean, I do like Ascending. It went from quite slow to quite fast in an instant. I have no idea how long that will last, but I'm sure it will last quite a while. Other than that, the game is mostly the same. You have the weaker skill tree, but the skill tree is permanent upgrades. So otherwise my multi-click wouldn't have 57 clicks already. And as you can see, my mana and energy are quite high. But chance-based stuff takes a lot longer to build up. So my crit chance 4.31% at the moment. My bonus gold chance 6.5% and treasure chest chance 4.76%. They take a long time to build up, but I think that's one of the fun parts in this version, building up your chances. And of course the damage stays, as you can see. Huge click is 2050% and this with the small clicks nerf is 387%. Nice. And this of course 230% because why not? The star stacks seem to be the same as before, so I wonder if each of them is just worth more. Like each of them doesn't decrease the amount of monsters by 1, but decreases them by... Oh, right. Engine shard. Multiplayer damage by 1.1. This is the new engine shard. And it also costs less. 50 rupees instead of... No, it was 50 always. Right, that hasn't changed. I forgot about that. When I go back to the previous version of the game, then that will be 10.8 because they never uploaded 10.9 onto their website, so I downloaded 10.8. So some of the wizard bug fixes are missing. Some of them. But other than that, that's the old game that I can still play. And I do want to play it. Because that was the game that I really liked. This game I like, but I'm not quite sure if I really like it yet. I have to play more to see what I have to play it more, and at the same time I have to also wait for more updates to see what the game is supposed to be like now versus what it was before, because I haven't reached the actual difficulty yet. Like the difficulty that the game should be right now. That is far later in the game. I think I have been blabbering on for quite a while now. But hopefully you understood some things at least, what I think about this current version of the game compared to the previous one. I do think that they are probably able to make it stay as fun as it was before, just in a different way. Because I think that these two patches aren't quite comparable anymore. The game's direction is completely different. One was a linear action RPG with challenges, and one is an incremental game with some challenges. Less challenges, but still some challenges. And the main challenge being trying to find the best builds that you should be using at any given time. Because spamming the exact same build each time is not great, since there are diminishing returns on the skill tree. It is additive after all. So yeah, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.